Hello, hello, hello. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Welcome to Sacred Interiors Home Soul Life. Welcome to everyone who's brand new to the group. I'm super honored that you're here, super glad that you're here. It's been a really great day for me, a really full day with great ideas, great plans, really cool stuff coming for me to share with all of you. But today, I thought I would take the time to talk a little bit with you about is spending time in you, spending resources, spending energy versus investing those things on you, in you, for you. And so welcome. If this is your first time in my live videos, I'm Paula Bettencourt and I'm here every Tuesday. Hello, Danielle. Hi, honey. I'm here every Tuesday doing these live trainings, so please say hi when you pop in here. If you're live, let me know that you're watching. Let me know that you're connected. Hello, Mary Rose. It's so good to see you. It's been a while. Good to see you in here. And if you're catching the replay, please feel free to say hello there too. I love interacting with you guys. I love knowing what you're getting out of these trainings. I love knowing what you want to hear more about. One of the biggest questions I get all the time, and I laugh because just this week I got a bunch of those comments on my Facebook posts. It's people really resonate with a lot of the things I share here, but then they're like, okay, so how do I make that tangible? How do I apply that into my home? And then we get caught up in the whole, pillows and throws and wallpaper discussion. But there's a gap that we bridge from the inner to the outer, right? Reminding you that the outer space, what your house looks like, what your relationships look like, what your health looks like, what your career looks like, comes from how you are inside. None of that is an entity of its own. It's all just a result of where you are inside. And so in this Sacred Interiors concept, yes, we love pillows, we love color, we love decorating, we love furniture, we love restoration hardware and anthropology and all these awesome spaces and resources, but that's not where we start. We start deeper. We start way deeper within. And so today, I wanted to touch base on this topic of spending versus investing because that has been such a big mindset shift that I've had in my life over the last few years and that I've seen a lot of my clients also be able to get to, and it really makes a difference. What is the difference in that? And so today I thought, before I dive into it, that I would give you a little bit of an experience of what it means to spend, in this case, time versus invest time in yourself. And the amount of time doesn't have to be grand. A lot of times we think investment is big and spending is a little less. But the reality is that investing is something that actually gets you something in return, that gets you something back. And sometimes it's tenfold the return or thousandfold. I don't know. It depends. But the point is, spending is really something that you just give without anything back, without getting anything back. And so that to me is the biggest the biggest difference between those two things. And so today I thought, before I dive deep into all the things I want to share with you about that, I thought we would share this time together and invest this time together with just a few minutes of a very beautiful meditation, a Kundalini meditation that is all about really allowing the extra baggage, releasing the extra emotional baggage that we have been carrying. I know a lot of you might be getting out of work if you're in the Eastern Standard Time zone or even Mountain Time. And if you're watching the replay, then make sure that you find the time to just invest in yourself in this simple way, doing this meditation. So join me for a few minutes as we do this, and then we'll get really comfortable in this conversation. And of course, you're always welcome to interact with me. Ask me any questions that might come up during the video. I'll read them. If you're watching the replay, ask me anyway, and I'll respond to you because I love interacting with you in that way. So let's just start by finding a comfortable position. You can sit in cross-legged position, or you can sit on a chair or in your sofa, or in your car if you're parked somewhere safe. And just begin by closing the eyes, settling in, taking this moment to just breathe in long and deep through your nose, inhaling through the nose, making sure your belly's rising up, and exhaling as you tuck the belly button in towards the spine. Just take a moment here to settle down before we start our meditation, to release old emotional baggage, which is a whole nother type of clutter that we carry with us. And so just begin rubbing the palms together, creating heat, and bringing them in front of the heart, the center of the chest, the thumbs touching the sternum, sitting with your back nice and tall, your chin tucked in towards the chest. Imagining that you have an invisible string up at the top of your head, pulling you up to the heavens. And apply some pressure on the palms. And we'll just tune in with this mantra, Om Namo Guru Dev Namo. You don't have to know it, just receive it as a gift. We'll just say it 3 times, and it's really all about connecting with this chain of masters and teachers that show up to support us, to show us the way. Inhale deeply. Exhale. One more time. And let's tune in the quick way. Inhaling deeply. Om Namo Guru Dev Namo. Om Namo Guru Dev Namo. Om Namo Guru Dev Namo. Exhale completely. Beautiful. And now please bring your palms in front of your heart again. This time the fingertips touch, but the palms stay a little bit apart. And you just want to rest your elbows by the rib cage. The eyes are going to be focused at the tip of the nose. And we're simply going to begin inhaling for 5 seconds through the nose. Holding the breath in for 5 seconds. And exhaling through the nose for 5 seconds. And just continue that pattern, focusing the eyes at the tip of the nose. Inhaling for 5, slowly through the nose. Holding the breath for 5. And exhaling slowly through the nose for 5 seconds. Keeping your awareness on the breath. And when you finish your exhalation, please take a deep breath in. Hold the breath. Straighten your arms up above your head. Exhale and just shake your wrists, shake your arms, shake your hands. And relax your hands on your knees, on your lap. Let the breath come naturally to you. And when you're ready, please open your eyes. Welcome back. So I wanted to show you that very simple meditation to give you a tangible example of what it means to spend versus invest in you. If you think about how long it takes out of your time to go into your social media, to watch a video somewhere, to even think about what you're going to choose watching on TV. That's all time that you are spending. And there's nothing wrong with that if you are choosing to spend your time that way. But when I talk about investing, I want you to compare the difference of spending those 3 minutes we just did together on your social media scrolling down versus using them for a purpose like breathing in this way. Most of the time, you'll see the difference right away. And the difference is so tangible that you have the power to just shift your emotions, your mindset, your funk, wherever it is that you are, by simply investing that time in that breath, in that practice, versus spending the time doing anything else that will give you nothing in return. And so that's why I wanted to just sort of give you that tangible experience of what that is. And the way I also translate that into the home space, into the sacred interiors living, and really sacred interiors lifestyle, which I talk about a lot because, like I've said many times, is not about just a change, just a makeover. It really is going deeper into a transformation. And most of the time you'll see that spending your money, spending your time, and spending your resources isn't actually going to give you transformation. It'll give you change, like when you spent money doing your hair, or when you spent money and time doing your nails. It'll give you change when you simply buy a new duvet or a new mattress or something like that. But does it actually give you anything back in return? Like when you invest in a piece of furniture that maybe costs you a little bit more initially but will last you longer, right? These are things that seem very out there, but there are ways in which we can consciously choose to share our resources, not just with the world, but also putting it out there that the price we pay when we're not aware of what we're doing, or when we're just giving our energy away and spending our energy away, sometimes is way more than if we choose to invest a little bit more at the beginning, but get so much back. And so a lot of the times I like to ask my clients this when they're afraid that they don't have the money to make changes or transformations in their spaces or even in their own lives. And the question I always ask them is, do you really even believe that you're worth it? Because the mind has this tricky way in telling us that we aren't good enough and that we aren't worthy enough of making these big changes and meaningful changes in our lives. One of the ways that I like to talk with my clients about that is when they tell me that, you know, they've spent all this money with all these little knickknacks and all these decorating items, but they never actually like what they have, or they never actually like the way their room feels, or the way their home looks, or the way their room is put together. But yet they've gone to Target 100 million times. They've spent a little bit of money here and there all these times when they go shopping, and they never really feel that sense of satisfaction. When they show me these pictures of spaces they love, I always have them compare what they have to what they see. And almost always the difference is that these spaces that look more put together, that look more professionally designed, are spaces which are having or have items that are bigger, that are more meaningful, more substantial. And so instead of spending a little bit of money on 3 little mirrors, they actually need to spend a little bit more money on 1 bigger mirror. Okay, does that make sense to you guys? Are you following me? Let me know that you're following me, because sometimes I get carried away with sharing these things and I want to make sure that they make sense to you. The difference between spending and investing is, do we need more of the little things that just fill us, like on a very shallow level, or can we actually be more committed to our worthiness and buy bigger things that make more sense in our space and spend bigger time that makes more sense in our self-care? Spend more, a lot of the times I actually talk about this in terms of investing and spending, in terms of, investing is something that usually makes us afraid. Investing is something that usually makes us hesitate. Investing is usually something that is uncomfortable and that we really are being frozen by a little bit. I don't know if you guys have ever experienced that when you're making a purchase, like a big purchase, or when you're committing in a relationship, or something that means you have to fully be present for what you're doing. That's the difference with investing versus spending. Spending is something that's usually more impulse driven. It's usually just a quicker decision is made. You want it and you want it now. There's more instant gratification. But the way I describe it, or the picture I paint, is, imagine that you buy a vase that is this beautiful piece of pottery. Maybe it costs you $500, and that might seem like, whoa, that's a lot of money for a vase. But this vase is a vase that fills your room. When you walk in, you see it. You can use it to decorate your home with every season of the year. You can put some beautiful greenery for the summertime with maybe some sunflowers. You could put some beautiful dried foliage for autumn and for fall time. You could have some nice branches or pussy willows for the Christmas time. And you have this one piece you invested in one time, but you can carry it along with you for years to come. And regardless of what you put in it, it always looks classy, it always looks timeless, it always looks good. Versus going to the dollar store and buying 5 little vases with Halloween faces on it, 5 little vases with snowmen on them, 5 little vases with sunflowers on them for the summer, but then you can't really use it beyond that time. It only comes out in Halloween, it only comes out in Christmas time, it only comes out in the summer. Do you guys get what I'm saying? It makes more sense to go fully into one bigger purchase than it makes sense to buy a bunch of little things that you're not going to find real purpose for later on, and that is not just going to clutter your home later on, but that is also going to be more expensive in the long run. Because if you were to add that much money that you spend in all the little trips to Marshall's and all the little trips to Home Goods versus the one-time purchase you made that makes you feel happy every time, you'll see your initial investment actually gives you way more back. So that's just a simple picture I can share with you in terms of spending money in a way that's wiser for your home, for decorating your home, for your furnishings, as opposed to just spending it impulsively without getting anything in return. And then what happens when we think of investing also in terms of us, right? We talk about it in the Sacred Interiors concept in terms of investing from within, investing in you. And the way I see that is, I had a few conversations with a few breakthrough sessions today with mothers who are aware of how much they are giving of themselves, how much they have to do, how much they are robbing of their own savings to fill the needs of their children, of their spouses, of their careers. And what I see over and over and over during these breakthrough sessions is that as women, we are so good in robbing, and I say that word as in we're stealing from our reservoir of energy to give to others that which we don't even have in us. And so what happens is that we are supposed to have this container full of our energy, full of our nourishment, full of our enthusiasm, full of our vibrancy to give to the world, to give to our children, to give to our men, to give to our work. But because we're not investing in us to fill it up, we actually have to dig into the savings of it at the very bottom of that container to get what we don't have to give other people. I know that many of you can resonate with this because we all do it. We are really, really, really good at that. And so how I say that, when I say that shifting the mindset of spending versus investing is so huge, it applies to our everyday doing, our everyday tasks. Sometimes we think that if we don't take care of this laundry, that if we don't take care of these dishes, that if we don't take care of all these external things right now, we're not going to be able to properly function. But if we were willing to really know that we are worthy of more, that we are worthy of more than just doing and doing and doing, but we are actually worthy of being, and we chose to not tackle that one task. I'm not saying drop it all and don't do shit. I'm saying drop one thing that you think you have to do today and choose to actually invest your time in a way that gives you more in return. That's the big shift that I want to share with you guys today. How do you spend your time, and how can you choose to not have to spend your time in the way that you think you're used to, but actually choose to invest that time in a way that gets you more back in return? And what I have found is that almost always when I choose to invest that time, I actually get more abundance back. When I think that I'm giving, when I think that I'm being robbed of something, that I'm being taken, something is taken away from me. That's what spending is something is being taken away from you. Investing is saying, I'm going to give this and circulate this because I know that more gratitude, more abundance is coming my way. That's the difference. And so in Sacred Interiors, I'm scrolling over here because I see so many of you guys popping up. Hello, Pao, Juan Martin, hello, Devi. Thank you guys for being here. Danielle says, makes so much sense. I do this all the time. And then you have to store them and remember where you store them. Mary Rose says, yes, exactly. Then you have to remember all that. And now that's more energy you have to spend in looking for your stuff, in trying to figure out where it is. Then you're spending more energy bitching about it. Then you're spending more energy complaining about it. And then you're spending more energy judging others about why they didn't put the vase where you left it last. And then before you know it, you've spiraled into this cycle of self-sabotage, of guilt, of judgment, right? Am I right? I'm not the only one who goes through this. I know that. And so if instead this one bigger piece that you invested time on, that you invested resources on, is simply there, you have all this energy that you spent doing all that I just said into actually bringing more joy into your life, more reverence into your task. How different is it to wash your dishes while you're humming and singing? And this is something very simple, and it might seem very stupid, but it really isn't. How different is it to wash your dishes while you're humming, chanting, singing, versus doing it out of being neurotic about it, complaining, and bitching the whole time you're doing it? It makes the whole world of difference. Even those very simple, mundane moments in which we bring reverence to can transform your whole day. I have seen it, you guys. I saw it this week. I actually paid so much attention to that, which is why I'm giving you the dishes example, because I chose to really chant when I was washing my dishes. And what I found was my daughters started picking up on the chants I was doing. And before we knew it, we were all chanting together, singing together. This was maybe 5 minutes, 7 minutes it took me to really wash these few dishes I had. And what I got in return from that was so much more than clean dishes, was so much more. I got a chance to connect with my kids. I got a chance to prevent the tantrum that was ahead had I not spent that time shifting the energy of our home at that time. And so this is how mindfulness comes in place. This is how consciousness comes in place. This is how awareness becomes a part of living a sacred life, living a sacred lifestyle. So that's my invitation to you today, is go back into thinking, shifting your mindset into you are the most important person. You are the most pivotal, influential person of your household. As a woman, that is what you are. I don't care what anyone says. You are the most important person. That does not mean anyone else is less important than you. It simply means that you have a lot of power to really influence your family, your children, your men, your workspace by how you choose to spend or invest your time. So that being said, I want to remind you that those little concepts in terms of spending your time and energy or investing your time and energy in your day-to-day in doing your chores matters. I want to remind you that how you spend your money in your furniture, in your decoration matters. Investing and committing to a bigger piece, okay, this is like an interior design nugget of wisdom. Investing and committing to a bigger piece will always make you feel better long term, even if initially is a little bit more tricky. So just keep that in mind. Now, there's so many ways to be creative with like the monetary aspect of it, and there's so many ways to be creative with being resourceful. But in terms of scale, in terms of the mass, in terms of the weight, the visual weight that items bring into your home, bigger and larger is usually better than having all the little things. And it's the same for your self-care. Investing time in something that maybe feels a little bit more uncomfortable, like practicing these meditations, takes a little bit more commitment than painting your nails or watching TV. It really does. But it gets you that much more in return. And so that is something we go really deeply into Sacred Interiors Academy, into my transformational program, because we're able to really see transformation in these areas of your life that really mean the most to you. We invest time, we invest resources, we invest energy in creating sacred spaces that help you feel more confident, more self-aware, that help you really bring more balance to your health, to your confidence, I already said that, to your prosperity, to your family, to your relationships. Where do you choose to spend your money? And so we can go and keep going at this rate of just buying things here and there. We spend $100 at Target, we spend $50 at Marshall's. What would happen if you took the time to add all those receipts and find out how much money you have spent on those things for 1 year, maybe even 6 months? Do that. I invite you to do that. It might be really scary, and that's okay. But if you can think of that and then really be able to understand that all those things are just band-aids, that it takes real commitment and real practice and real depth to see real transformation. It takes real commitment to you. It takes real commitment to your family. It takes real commitment to your values to shift from having this chaotic lifestyle to having this cluttered home, this cluttered heart, this cluttered mind, into having a peaceful, simple, clean, practical, day-to-day, beautiful, joyful retreat that is your home, that is your sacred interior. It does take more depth, it does take more of an investment, and it does take more commitment. But my question to you is, do you think that you're worth it? Are you worth it? And if you are, and if you're ready to make that change, please reach out. I am enrolling in my program. Sacred Interiors is fully open right now for anyone who's ready to make that commitment to themselves, to their values, and to their homes. So let me know if you have any questions, if you want more details about enrolling. I love doing this work, you guys. I love seeing the transformation of seeing women who think that they don't have time for themselves, who think that they don't have time to clean their home, who think that they don't have what it takes to decorate their space, who think that they don't have the creativity, to see them actually committing to themselves first, seeing how that manifests into better relationships, into more collaborative relationships, into more peaceful days, into more successful careers, into more health. It transfers into everything that we do because our environments are our reflection of us. Our environments either deplete us or nourish us. And the way we choose to spend our energy in these environments or invest our energy in these environments and for these environments are what make a difference. So I invite you to join me, to book a breakthrough session, to get on the phone and let's figure out how I can help you, if I can help you. Share this group with your friends. I love that you guys have been bringing in so many of your friends and your family, and that all these different small trainings and all these different valuable trainings that I've been offering have been helpful to you. So let me know how I can serve you better. Let me know what else you're interested in talking about. Let me know what else you're interested in bringing into this sacred space, because I love interacting with you and I love serving you in this way. So I hope you guys have a beautiful, beautiful day. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for being here. And I will see you very soon. I will see you next Tuesday. And I'm already thinking about what this next Kriya, this next 40-day challenge is going to be. And I'm thinking it might actually come to be all about self-love. So I'm figuring that out. I'm tuning into what it is that you guys need the most is. But if you have an idea, let me know and I'll be happy to share that with you. Have a beautiful night. Sat Nam.